Welcome back to the 21 Boom Guided Meditation. This is Coach Zach Feeney. I'll be your guide for the evening. And today's theme we're going to develop is emptiness. Emptiness is one of the trickier concepts in Buddhism. Sometimes it goes by the name of not self or selflessness or ego looseness. A lot of people get hung up on this, myself included, because it's hard to understand the argument that we don't exist. That's not quite the argument. The argument is that on some really important foundational, fundamental level, there is no you. But of course, on a relative level, on a day-to-day level, you do exist. You need to put your pants on and make appointments, et cetera, et cetera. But if you really look at your mind, whatever is arising in your mind, you try to find the you in it, you won't find it. And one way to make this super practical, super helpful is to look at thoughts. If you look at your thoughts, they really feel, when viewed from the perspective of an untrained mind, they really feel who you are about to, can really feel like little dictators. The thought comes into your mind and then you just act it out blindly. But if you look at your thoughts, actually, you'll see that again, they're a little more than nothing, these thoughts. And when you have that perspective, then you don't need to take them as seriously. And that is really liberating. So today's meditation is on thinking. One of the challenging aspects of this practice of paying attention to these quickly passing thoughts is that thoughts are very slippery. They slide into the mind. And so we need to pay particular attention to the arising of these thoughts, and to do it in a lighthearted way as we pay more and more attention to these kinds of thoughts arising many, many times during the day, and doing it with a light heart, doing it from a place of interest, from a place of investigation. We find ourselves abiding in a much more spacious and much more open quality of mind that allows the thoughts to arise and pass away in a field of awareness. As you begin the sitting, sit comfortably in a dignified posture. The back is straight but not stiff, letting the eyes close gently. Settle into your body, feeling the body in the sitting posture, and simply sit and know you're sitting as you're aware of yourself sitting. You might also begin to know that the body is breathing. Breathing in, you're breathing in. Breathing out, you're breathing out. You may hear different sounds. There may be loud sounds, there may be soft sounds. They may be pleasant, they may be unpleasant. Simply rest in the openness and be aware of how all sounds appear and disappear. Again, return to the awareness of the body, sit, and now in your setting. When thoughts arise in the mind, as soon as you become aware that you're thinking, make a soft mental note of thinking. The idea in meditation is not to stop thinking, but rather to be aware when we are thinking, to see it as simply another object of mindfulness. Whenever you become aware of a particular mood or emotion, a mind state, make that very experience the object of your meditation, becoming mindful of the particular mood or emotion. So they were actually investigating the nature of our experience. There will be many times when the mind seems to be carried away by trains of thought. At whatever point you become aware that you've been lost or for extended period of time, in that moment, becoming aware, simply acknowledge that and begin again. And now I'd like to give us a sort of counterintuitive way to get out of our own heads. And it centers around a simple but provocative question you might ask yourself from time to time, which is, how can I help? Compassion arises from a willingness to come close to suffering. And in response to the suffering we encounter, the compassionate heart asks the question, how can I help? We're going to use compassionate phrases to cultivate the feeling of compassion toward another. We'll explore this together. Centering the attention, the awareness of the heart center, that area in the center of the chest, and breathe into that space as if you're breathing in and out from the heart center. Breathing in, you're breathing in. Breathing out, you're breathing out. Let the heart and mind relax into this awareness of the breath at the heart center. And then call to mind someone you know, either personally or perhaps someone from the news. Somebody who might be experiencing some kind of suffering in their lives. Maybe that they're experiencing some physical distress or some mental suffering. Bring an image of this person to mind, in some way open to and connecting with the suffering that they're experiencing. And simply repeat the basic phrase of compassion. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of suffering. As best you can, hold the image while the sense of that person in mind, aware of the suffering that they're experiencing, and connecting with your own inner motivation to help in whatever way you can. Slowly repeating the phrase compassionate and compassionate response. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of suffering. It may be that as you're expressing this wish, may you be free of suffering, holding the person who is experiencing difficulties in their lives in your mind and your heart. It may be that your own mind will begin to wander, get lost in thoughts of past or a future. As soon as you become aware that the mind is lost in thought, simply come back to the feeling the body sitting. Begin to feel the sensations of the body breathing very gently at the heart center, and reconnect with the phrase expressing our compassionate feeling. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of suffering. Become aware of the feeling in your heart, the motivation that genuinely wishes that this person be free of suffering. Repeat this simple phrase, holding the image of the sense of the person in your mind and in your heart. Connect with the meaning of the words. Connect with the motivation behind the words. May you be free of suffering. May you be free of suffering. May you be at ease. May you be free of physical pain. May you be free of mental distress. May you be free of suffering. Now you'll be at ease. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and take in your surroundings. During the meditation, you may have felt a lot of compassion at times, or perhaps very little compassion as you were repeating the phrases. We start wherever we are and develop it from that point. And even if you feel as if the compassion for another is not yet very strong, as someone engaged in this practice had once said, at the very least, I've developed compassion for myself. We're not having enough compassion. And so we settle into this practice of compassion, letting it grow naturally in its own way as this beautiful quality begins to transform our life and our experience. Thank you, and I look forward to practicing with you again.